This month we're focusing on financial reporting and in particular our profit improvement program. So what exactly is our profit improvement program? So basically when we're looking at financial statements with clients, at the end of a job, whether it be an annual reporting period or whether it be quarterly reporting, we sit down with the client and we run through areas that may lead to profit improvement. For instance, recently we had a client who we did the annual financials for, and we noticed that their bank charges had almost doubled from one year to the next. And it turns out that that business, just through what's happening in the world, had increased their FPOS charges from about $30,000 a year to over $60,000 a year. Now, what that led to was the question as to why this might have occurred. And obviously, the number of people paying with cash has reduced significantly over the last few years, and people are moving more to tapping and paying for everything with their cards. So the problem with that is that those cards come with charges that come from the banks. So we also then ask the question, well, how much of this are you passing on? And it turns out the client was passing on zero. So they've gone back to their FPOS provider and firstly negotiated a better deal because of the sheer volume of transactions that were going through to reduce the percentage that was being charged. But secondly, they also talked to them about being able to on-charge that onto each individual purchase so that they then recouped that $60,000 plus per year in their FPOS charges by having that added on to every time someone tapped at the terminal. And unfortunately, it's become a bit of a, or fortunately, whichever way you want to look at it, it's become quite commonplace for retailers to pass that cost back onto the consumer. And most consumers, when they're having a small purchase, if it's $21.50 or it's $21.70 to cover the FPOS charges, they generally have just accepted that that's now part of how we do business. So by having a look at those particular instances for the client in their financials, we're able to identify a problem that resulted in between a $60,000 and $70,000 turnaround for them in the coming 12 months of expense that they'll be able to recoup. So it's quite a significant advantage. Another significant profit improvement example that we have come across recently was a client who was opening their storefront really early, which resulted in penalty rates being paid to the employees. And when we pressed a bit further, we asked the question, well, how much are you actually turning over during those first 2 hours where you're paying the penalty rates? Because once you're paying penalty rates, some of the employees were earning between $50 and $60 per hour. And there might have been 3 employees on. So we asked the question, well, is it actually worth you opening those hours? And are you actually making profit? So the client went digging into the FPOS system and started analysing the sales between those first 2 hours. And we went back 3 to 4 months to determine whether or not it was worth them opening up so early. And it turned out that the profit that was being made was so marginal that they're considering changing their working hours in order to maybe open an hour later instead of that hour earlier. It really pays to do the analysis and to understand your business and not just go on blindly and expecting that, yeah, we're making money, but are you really making money at that early time that would justify the inconvenience or the extra time and effort taken to get employees to start really early? So it allows them to make an informed decision as opposed to running with gut feel or running with the attitude that, oh, well, we've always opened at 6 o'clock in the morning and will continue to, and not understanding whether or not they were making money at all. So by having the right data and the right information at their hands, they're now able to make an informed decision moving forward. So it gives them the power back. And that is the beauty of the profit improvement program and why we highly recommend it for a lot of our clients. So if that sounds like something that would be of interest, please get in contact and we can help analyse your business and hopefully identify areas that would lead to significant improvement in your business.